Hi everyone, welcome to our first episode of the Chronicles of Homeschool, where you get to join us on this, I was going to say crazy, it might be, this crazy, dynamic, fun, exciting, scary journey as we are starting this whole thing of being a homeschool family.
Here we go, yo.
Woo!
Here we go.
So here's the thing, in this episode what we want to talk about is why would we do this, right? Because every single person that we've mentioned, we're going to homeschool our daughter, they ask,
why do I do that?
Which the translation that I often hear is, what is wrong with you people? Because we know if you're watching this video, maybe you're thinking the same thing. Like, why would I homeschool? Or what's the motivation? What's the reason? And so it's important for us to think about the why. Why would we choose to do this? Because our daughter was in public school from K through 5th grade. Phenomenal school, amazing school.
Yeah.
But as we went to middle school, we decided we were going to go the homeschool route. And like all good homes, this major decision rests on... No, but honestly, so why are we doing this?
I want to say, I think overall, it's a calling. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and is like, I'm going to be a homeschool parent. It just doesn't happen unless you have this deep-seated, like, you really feel led to do this. Mm-hmm. So that is reason number one. And two, it was always my desire to homeschool my daughter. But as you've seen probably if you've watched the intro video, I deal with some really debilitating illnesses. And so I wasn't able to when she started school, and it was so devastating for me. But now that there's this natural break and this transition into middle school, I really started last year. We're spiritual people. We were praying through things and talking to people and researching, and it just felt like all of these open doors just boom, 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 boom. I would sit next to somebody who was a homeschool teacher. I'd sit next to somebody who was, part of a charter school. And, it was just like people came out of the woodwork when we just really started and being really intentional about, are we really going to do this thing? And so that was really awesome. And we live in the state of California. It's a little murky here with the schools. I'm just going to leave it at that. I could say a lot more. But so we love California, but that's really one of the reasons too. And yeah, I just want more for her. I want more than what the standardized public school is right now for her. It's different for everybody. Mm-hmm. We have zero judgment for anybody doing this, doing normal public school. Like we did it.
We went to public school we're almost normal.
I just was doing so much research and figuring out, like looking at the statistics, especially for girls in the 6th to 8th grade middle school range, just academically and socially and mentally and all those things there. And it did not sit right with me for her. And those are some of the reasons we're doing it. I get to pick her teachers. I get to pick her curriculum. We get to kind of get off the matrix and kind of do things our own way and have more opportunities opened up to us because of the time that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, I think first of all that the ability to have more of control over the education. Because one of the things you see in education now is, when I was growing up, I took home ec. I sewed some bags. I had to make turkey tetrazzini in the kitchen. Took typing, and then home ec and that stuff moves out. STEM comes in because that's the focus, and I love STEM. If you know me, I love all that kind of stuff. But then that shifts and that moves. But then we realized people didn't know how to write a check. They didn't know how to boil water. They didn't know how to do stuff. And so now schools are trying to figure out, well, how do we do this, and this? And what we realized is that we could do that through homeschool. So that's
such a good thing, because one of the reasons too is when I share with people who are like, why are you doing it? I always say, we're really intentional parents. And I was noticing that we just started losing because life is so full. Like, you got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff going on. Our daughter has a lot. Our family has a lot. And I was feeling like I was losing the ability to impart like life lessons into her and spiritual lessons and emotional lessons. And so I feel like I'm excited to go, here's $50. Let's go to the store. Here's our budget. This is what we need. And these are, you know, like all those life things that I think just get so easily missed when you're just going from thing to thing to thing to thing, and then you have so much homework at night, and you know, it just gives us the ability to be intentional about life skills and spiritual things and emotional health and all that stuff.
When Casey first mentioned years ago that she wanted to homeschool, I was a little skeptical, you know, and mostly because I was like, can we do it? You know, I mean, the logistics of it seemed daunting, feel daunting. They're a little daunting now as we think about some of that stuff. And we couldn't earlier, but now we are in a season where we could. And so what was kind of the tipping point for me was when, and Casey had mentioned this, you know, when I read this really extensive study that talked about the effects on girls in the middle school age, and seeing that, and I'm paraphrasing the study, but that transition to middle school sets, you know, statistically sets girls back academically at least a year from where they are. I think socially, all of that stuff sets them back. And when I saw that in black and white, and I saw data compiled over decades, that's what started moving me in the direction of going, okay, if we can make this work, I'm a whole lot more open to it. So if you're skeptical, and maybe your spouse is the one that was super excited about it, and you're a little bit like, I don't know about that.
We get it.
I totally get it. You know, and it may not be right for you, and
right.
We're going to figure out this year if it's right for us.
We don't know.
But that was one of the big reasons for me. And then, you know, then as Casey did her research or shared more of the stuff of her research, the more I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff here that's available. And so those are some of the whys. You're going to continue to hear more of the whys as we go forward. And, you know, but for you, thinking about why would you do this? And that's a big question people would ask us even as we're jumping into it. Hey, why would you want to homeschool?
Right.
And those are great questions for us to unpack.
We joke about it at the beginning, going, why? Everyone's like, why? But we understand. And it's a legitimate thing that if you're going to homeschool, you need to understand the why. The why, I think, is going to set us up when we have hard days, when we're like, why are we doing this? We come back to, well, these are the core reasons why. And so I think that's super important.
So one of the things we're going to do in these episodes, or many of the episodes, we're going to have kind of what we're calling these short confessionals, where all of us individually will talk to the camera about what we're really feeling about a certain thing. And so take a look at some of the confessionals.
Unfiltered, unplugged. Okay, so this is our confessional area, and this is where I'm going to share how I'm feeling about homeschool, real, raw. This is how it is. So I actually am really excited about starting this homeschool journey. I have like the awe and reverence of, I know it's a big undertaking and I know it's a lot, but I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like there's going to be so many new opportunities open up to us and adventures to go on together. So I'm excited. As a mom, it's been hard because Karis is not really wanting to do this, and it's been hard for her, and we've been walking through like the grieving process for her. And I really felt after we made the decision, like, okay, for real, we're going to homeschool. I felt like I was trying to convince her to like love homeschool, and we'll get to do this and we'll get to do that. And then I finally got to a place where I'm like, I don't know what it's going to look like. I've never done this. We're going to be on the adventure together. Let's just see how it goes. And at the very least, we're in it together. And so that's kind of where I'm at, is I'm not trying to oversell or hype anything up. I'm just trying to be really vulnerable and honest with her. But it's hard for me as a mom to see her crying or see her upset. And so that's just something we're continuing to work through. But I'm actually really excited, and I think this will be a really good thing for our family. So that's the real deal of how I'm feeling.
So I'm kind of excited because I get to do these really cool art classes with learning other subjects as well. I'm getting to learn different forms of art while learning like history, and that's what I'm super excited about, is that I'm getting to learn art because I love art a ton. But mainly, I'm actually pretty disappointed and kind of sad because I'm not going to be able to see my friends or have any of the same experiences that I would have at middle school. And I know people say middle school is hard, and I know that there's things that you would go through at middle school that isn't the best, but I always kind of just wished I could go. I'm a little bummed about it, I gotta say. I've had some days where I'm crying and I really don't want to do it. And if my mom told me that I was going to public school, I would not have a problem with that. So this is going to be really different, and I'm just in for the ride. I really don't know. And that's how I'm really feeling about homeschool. I'm sort of excited, but just mainly kind of sad and wish I could have the same experiences. But this is a whole new thing, and we're just going along with it.
I think at this point the benefits outweigh some of the drawbacks, but those are some very real things that I'm concerned about. But I'm also looking forward to being able to spend more time with Karis. I'm excited about, if I'm traveling somewhere pretty cool, bringing her along on that trip and having her experience, my life as an entrepreneur, as a speaker. And then also just, if we're somewhere cool, say we're in DC or somewhere historical, that she can come in and visit these places she's studying and get this firsthand knowledge of that. So that part, so excited about being able to do. I think we've planned as best as we can, and we've made the best decision that we can. But if I'm honest, I'm a little concerned about just how, can we do this and what the effect is going to be, because we've got some very real challenges, in our family to be able to do this and do this well. Well, thanks again, guys, for joining us on the Chronicles of Homeschool. Right? We want you to join us on the journey. So if you like this video,
Yes.
will you do a couple things? Will you subscribe to this so that you get our latest episodes? Comment on the things that you like.
We need you. Okay?
We do.
We need the community.
Yeah.
We need the words
Yeah.
of wisdom. We need the encouragement. We need each other. Right? For real. So be a part of it. Be active.
We'd love to see you there. So
Yeah,
join
that's
us next time. Thanks for watching.